Hi everyone, I hope everyone is doing well. So today I wanted to make a quick demo to show code interpreter functionality within Copilot Studio. So in one of my previous video, I showed how you can work with large Excel and CSV file using custom canvas that allows you to use JavaScript libraries to, basically uh, parse the files that user uploads and then pass it to Copilot Studio Agent. But in today's video, we are going to use the built-in code interpreter functionality that uses Python libraries to work with data in Excel or CSV files. So this is a new feature which is still in preview. And I'm going to show you how you can use it in order to test this new feature. So here I've already created a Copilot Studio agent. You can see there's no knowledge. All I have is instructions. These instructions are basically just telling it to use specific topics that I have created. So in under topics, you can see I've created 3 topics. So one allows me to calculate average net profit. One allows me to handle any card sales related questions. And then the last one here shows or calculates cards sold by agent. The reason I had to create 3 different topics is because as of today, the code interpreter feature in Copilot Studio cannot reload the data once it's already executed it. Or, for example, it cannot handle dynamic questions within a single topic. So if you have to do a specific calculation, you have to create different prompts. Just to show you what I mean by that is if I look at this average net profit topic here, this topic is using this prompt, and this prompt can only calculate average net profit. It won't be able to answer questions related to how many cards were sold by a specific agent in a specific year. So it doesn't allow dynamic questions to be passed to the prompt. And that's the reason you would have to create different prompts to handle specific calculation. And this is as of today, right? So it's still in preview. Down the line, we will support handling multiple or dynamic questions where the prompt is able to reload the data and rerun the calculations. So for now, just keep that in mind. You have to design different prompts that can handle specific type of calculation. So having said that, let me show a quick demo of how this works. Like I said, I have 3 different topics and the structure of the topic remains the same. The only thing that changes is the prompt that's being used. So for example, in this case, I'm calculating average net profit. So here, if you look at the topic, what I'm doing is I'm storing the file that is uploaded by the user in a global variable so that the user doesn't have to keep re-uploading the file. And then I'm using this prompt where I pass in the file and pass in the user's question, and the response is then shown via message node. So the structure for each topic remains the same. The only thing that changes is the prompt. And just to show you how the prompt looks like or how to use the prompt for enabling this feature, you can see here, the first thing you have to do is create a new prompt, and then under more settings, make sure you turn on this flag, which allows it to use code interpreter. If you see this feature grayed out, you do have to turn it on in Power Platform Admin Center at a tenant level. By default, it's turned off. You can turn it on, and once you turn it on in the Admin Center, you should be able to switch this on for a specific prompt. The other thing to note is for now, I'm using the output as text, but if you turn this on, you should also be able to create documents. So if you have like a Word template that you want to pre-fill based on the calculations or based on, the question that user has asked, you can do that using this documents or images as the output. So here I have turned that flag on. You can see I'm using GPT-5 model, and what I'm doing is I'm passing the file and the user's question. Um, and I'm also giving a very, you can see very robust prompt here, which has, um, different guardrails on how that calculation needs to be done. I'm also making sure it's making use of pandas. So pandas is a Python library. Um, I'm explicitly telling it to use pandas for calculation. So these are different prompts that I have. All the prompts that I'm using follow the similar structure. Um, and then once you create that, you should be able to test it directly. So if I want to test this, I can just upload the file. Let's see. And, uh, so if I'm using this car sales report, um, and I click test, it might take some time to show the result. And here you can see it's able to answer this question, right? So it's basically showing which agent sold the most car. So this is how you can use code interpreter feature. You just create a prompt, use the right model you need, and then all you have to do is really turn on this flag here in order to access it. So let's look at the demo. So here I have this agent that I've created. Like I said, I have no knowledge. I just have three topics. And I can start asking questions like, can you create a line graph um, showing cards sold by month for year 2025? Right. And here you can see this is the Excel file I'm going to upload. So it's a report that shows different cards sold. So you have the make, the model, the sale price, sale agent name, the agent who sold the car, month and the year it was sold, if it was financed, and then lastly the net profit margin on that sale. So this is the Excel file that I'm using to generate the response. So I'm going to upload that file again here. So here is the file, and I'm going to ask this question now. And you can see it's going to use the card sales topic to answer it. And here you can see it was able to create this line graph that shows number of cards sold by each month for year 2025. And just to make sure we can compare it, let's go and look at it. So we have, this is the report that we uploaded. So we can just apply some filters here. So 2025. And if we just look at 1 month here, let's look at April. So we have 7. And so we had 7 cards sold in April of 2025, and you can see it's showing it as 7. So you can see how it's using Python to do this calculation, and it can plot the uh, graph as well. The same thing I can, without re-uploading the file, I can say, can you tell me agent which agent sold the most cards in year 2024? So I don't have to re-upload it because I'm storing the file in global variable. So now it's going to use this topic here, and you can see it's able to do the calculation, and looks like it's Diana Patel who sold 14 cars. And we can validate that by coming here. If I remove all the filters, and if I filter this to year 2024, and then just filter on that car salesman or saleswoman in this case. So you can see she sold 14 cards, and that's what we get here. So you can see how it's able to calculate it pretty accurately. Same way, I can ask some more, advanced questions like, can you calculate, to calculate, um, calculate net profit margin for Toyota in year 2025. So let's try to ask something like this. I'll say based on given data, because we don't want it to use data from the web. And let's see if it's able to answer this. And here you can see it's showing the average net profit margin, which was 13.67 for 2024. Again, I didn't make the year dynamic, so you can see it's calculated it for 2024, but we can go and check that here. So if we include all the sales agent and then just filter this on Toyota, and if we want to get an average of net profit margin, we can just select all this, and the average is 13.666, so 13.67, and that's what we have here. So this is how you can use the core interpreter to do some complex calculation. Just keep in mind that every time you design the prompt, make sure the prompt can handle a specific type of calculation. It won't be able to handle dynamic questions. If you need to do different types of calculation, you do have to create different prompts as of today to do the calculations. I hope this was helpful, and do let me know if you have any questions around Code Interpreter. Thanks for watching.